Making best PowerPoint slides or avoiding bad slides. ጥሩ የፕሬዘንቴሽን ስላይድ ማዘጋጀት። Tips to be covered. Title slide, outline slide, slide description, parts or structure of slide, rules of PowerPoint, font, spacing and aligned, font and background color, slide page, graphs, spelling and grammar, and conclusion. Title slide. A PowerPoint first slide is commonly called a title slide or a cover slide. It should include three main elements. The first one, a title that detailing the topic of the presentation. Second, an image that visually supports the title by adding more clarity to the topic. 3. Author information who prepared the slide. And 4. The reading time required to consume the presentation. Example of title slide is the first slide of this presentation. You can see on this moment. Outline slide. Make your second slide an outline of your presentation. Follow the order of your outline for the rest of the presentation. Only place main pointers on the outline slide. For example, use the title of each slide as the main point. Example of outline is the second slide of this presentation. You can see on this moment. Slide description. Your PowerPoint may be described in the form of words, pictures, graphs, charts, videos, etc. Parts or structure of slide. Greeting and self-introduction. Introduce yourself to the audience and clarify who you are and your relevant expertise. Introduction. Detailing the purpose and structure of the talk. The main body. Covering the main points of the talk. Conclusion. Summarizing and highlighting the significance of your talk. And at the last, thank the audience and invite questions. Most experts recommend limiting your presentation to 15 up to 25 minutes. Rules of PowerPoint. Rule 1. Include only one idea per slide. Rule 2. Spend no more than 1 minute per slide. Rule 3. Make use of your heading. Rule 4. Avoid weirdness or include only essential points such as keywords and phrases. Rule 5. Give credit where credit is due. Rule 6. Use graphics effectively. Rule 7. Design to avoid cognitive overload. Rule 8. Write in point form, not complete sentences. Rule 9. Do not use distracting animation. Rule 10. Do not go overboard with the animation. And Rule 11. Be consistent with the animation that you use. The 5-5-5 rule in PowerPoint tells us to use less than 5 words per line of text, 5 lines of text per slide, 5 text-heavy slides in a row. The 1-6-6 rule in PowerPoint tells us to use one main idea per slide, a maximum of 6 up to 8 bullet points per slide, and a maximum of 6 up to 7 words per bullet point. The 7 or 7-7-7 rule in PowerPoint tells us to use a maximum of 7 lines of text on any slide, a maximum of 7 words on any one line, and a maximum of 7 slides in 20 minutes talk. The 10-20-30 rule in PowerPoint tells us to use a presentation should have 10 slides, last no more than 20 minutes, and contain no font smaller than 30 points. Text font, spacing and align. Text font, spacing and align. Good font style. Use at least 28-point font. Use different size fonts for main points and secondary points. This font is 28 point. The main point font is 30 point. And the title font is 36 point. Use a standard font face like Times New Roman, Arial, Calibri, Tama, Gill Sans, Garamond, and constant. Bad font style. If you use a small font, your audience will not be able to read what you have written. Capitalize only when necessary. It is difficult to read. Don't use a complicated font. Good line spacing. The purpose of spacing between line is to reduce or relieve the fatigue or strain of reading. For most text, the optimal line spacing is between 120% and 145% of the point size. For line spacing, there is no definite rule, but 1.5 space is generally preferred. Bad line spacing. Bad line spacing style increases the fatigue or strain of reading. This is an example of bad line spacing. Bad line spacing is a barrier to use the slide space properly. Inappropriate line spacing reduces the attractiveness of the slide space. Good text alignment. There are 4 types of text alignment, which are left aligned, center aligned, right aligned, and justified. Left aligned text can be easiest to read due to the varying line lengths, which helps the reader track with the R. Justification is great when you have a lot of text to condense into close columns. Justification is often used in design to create a clean and organized look. Font and background color. Font and background color. Font and background color. Good font color. Use contrasting colors between text or font and background. For example, blue font on white background. Use color to reinforce the logic of your structure. For example, light blue title and dark blue text. Use color to emphasize a point. For example, but only use this occasionally. Bad font color. Using a font color that does not contrast with the background color is hard to read. Using color for decoration is distracting and annoying. Trying to be creative can also be bad. Using a different color for each point is unnecessary. Using different color for secondary points is also unnecessary. Good background color. Use background such as this one that are attractive but simple. Use backgrounds which are light. Use the same background consistently throughout your presentation. Bad background color. Avoid backgrounds that are distracting or difficult to read from. Always be consistent with the background that you use. Slide page. Slide page. Slide page. Slide page. Slide page. Bad slide page. This page contains too many words for a presentation slide. It is not written in point form, making it difficult both for your audience to read and for you to present each point. Although there are exactly the same number of points on this slide as the previous slide, it looks much more complicated. In short, your audience will spend too much time trying to read this paragraph instead of listening to you. Good slide page. Show one point at a time. Will help audiences concentrate on what you are saying. Will prevent audience from reading ahead. Will help you keep your presentation focused. Graphs. Graphs. Use graphs rather than just charts and words. Data in graph is easier to comprehend and retain than is raw data. Trends are easier to visualize in graph form. Always title your graphs. This table is the data to create a graph. Good graph. This is an example of a good graph. Bad graph. The bad graph is minor grid lines. Font is too small. Colors are illogical. Title is missing and shading is distracting. This is an example of bad graph. Spelling and grammar. 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 Prove your slides for spelling mistakes, the use of repeated words, punctuation mark error, and grammatical errors you may have. If the selected language is not your first language, please have someone else check your presentation. Conclusion. 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 Use an effective and strong closing that support your audience to remember your last words. Use a conclusion slide to summarize the main point of your presentation to suggest future roads of research. Thank you very much.